see what
Yeah.
the little green check mark. Okay, I get it.
Yeah, we're up to 10 channels now.
Ah,
And Kiri, you could add us onto your Twitch channel.
just because now there's this thing you can poke a button and it will let you.
No, Kiri has standards.
Well, thankfully they're not very high. Otherwise, he wouldn't be here with us. Yes, Josh. Still, we turn people on. Ah.
Okay, sorry.
Oh.
And we just lost all the viewers.
Yes,
So,
you
No,
did.
actually, we got 10 more.
So I actually saw something last night that was pretty cool. Actually, it was early this morning. We were watching WRCB Channel 3, Chattanooga, weather. And they were doing a weather broadcast on Facebook. It was me and Joe and Stephanie. We're all sitting there watching it. And they're watching this storm front. It was just above Huntsville, right on the Tennessee-Alabama line. As a matter of fact, the little town there is called State Line. And they're sitting there, and David Carnes and who's the other one? Josh. I have to go look it up. I can't remember names worth it.
I'll tell you in a minute.
Okay. Anyway, they were sitting here watching it, and David Carnes goes, he saw this little green spot on the radar map. And if you had seen this radar map, it's like finding one green spot. You're like, okay, what the heck are we looking at? It's green spot. He went in, he says, that green spot in the middle of that, all that red, looks like a rotation. It says, that might be the start of a tornado. Okay. I said, well, that's okay. I wasn't that impressed. It's a green spot. And a few seconds later, green spot got a little bigger and had a blue center. And he goes, oh, says, yep, that looks like a tornado. It says, the blue is solid objects. That's stuff that's getting thrown up into the air by the tornado.
Yeah.
And a few minutes later, National Weather, and they were sitting there, and he was talking about the whole weather thing. And they pulled back, and I was still watching that little spot. And while he was sitting there talking about all the other weather, the tornado emblem popped up on it. National Weather Service said it was a tornado, and then they put the block of tornado warning.
Yeah.
That there was a tornado on the ground on certain stuff.
His name is Clay.
Clay. Clay what? Or do we know?
Keep saying.
Anyway, they were they were talking about that, and
Clay Smith.
Clay Smith, David Carnes, Clay Smith, and they're both there talking about it. And he said, and they kept apologizing because this was outside of our viewing area. The people there can't pick up our TV station.
But it's headed our way.
But it's headed our way so we can see the tornado. Of course, National Weather Service, you can see the whole damn country and a few others.
Yeah, it was.
Then it turned out that tornado wound up. Oh, I found out later, Joe.
Yeah,
Killed
F3.
1, 14 injured.
Yeah.
Had a 12-mile long track. And it's just really
340 something yards wide.
160 something mile an hour winds.
Yeah, Cat 3 or F3.
EF3 or whatever they call them. And it's just weird to actually be sitting there and watch the thing pop up, and there would be like sitting on the deck of the Titanic and hearing scrape. What was that?
I don't know, but the band's playing Nearer My God to Thee.
Oh, remember the movie Time Bandits?
Oh, yes.
I love that scene where they're spending all their loot on board the cruise ship. And it turns out he's holding up the glass of champagne. And he goes, waiter, more ice. And it's the Titanic, and they hit the icebergs.
Well, they said it towered above the ship.
You know,
Well, the problem was it towered below the ship
ship,
too.
yeah.
Yeah.
A ship the next day that was responding to the Titanic sinking, they didn't get there until after the sun came up. And as they're heading that way, they took a picture of an iceberg. It's a black and white picture. But they said, if you look right down near the water line on that iceberg, there's red paint. So apparently that was the iceberg that Titanic ran over. So.
And they said if they'd hit it head on, it would just bent up the bow a little bit and brought her on in.
Mm-hmm.
There might have been a few more injuries, but they wouldn't have sunk the ship. And it was the ship was designed. There were 13 watertight compartments.
Aye.
What the heck is that? We got something for some idiot. Anyway.
Yeah, but it's gone already. I was fixing to boot.
I
him.
got it. I was on it.
We for those of you watching at home that don't know what the heck we're just talking about, we get these spam bots occasionally that dump stuff in the comment section trying to sell you something.
And they just dropped 20.
Well, that
Yikes.
one guy just dropped. I think I saw 6 or 7 from one, and it's like, yeah, thanks for spamming us.
Yeah, really.
Spam,
if you'd hit
spam,
like,
spam,
it would have
spam,
really
spam,
would have helped
spam,
us
spam.
out. But
You know, those people are going to go to hell, and somebody's going to go, would you like ice water? Check out my website.
oh heavens!
Yeah, Illinois got a few.
Going,
Illinois got a few. Kind of interesting about Huntsville.
all right.
One line of tornado went north of Huntsville. One went south of Huntsville. Completely missed. Just,
I got a question for you guys. If you pushed your own naked clone off a tall building, would it be murder, suicide, or simply making an obscene clone fall?
why do I get the distinct feeling that Carrie's down there going, I got to remember that one. I got to remember that one. I got to remember that.
To anyone watching on my YouTube and Twitch channels, I do apologize in advance. And
We don't call this show Stupid O'Clock for nothing.
I should be
knew-
afraid.
I knew the April Fool's show was going to be something special, but I didn't think it was requiring a short bus.
Well, you heard about the pot burn last week, didn't you?
He just don't know when to quit, do he?
No.
Now here comes the helmet, and then the next one's going to be the cork on the fork.
No, they did this pot burn, and the speckled brown Turin was flying over. They didn't get the fire hot enough, so it smoked real bad. Not one Turin was left unstoned.
He's been writing these damn things down all day, folks. I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I bet he's got it. I bet he's got like a Kindle full of.
No, guys, and I will.
Who has Santa Fogel?
I will just let you see. That's the only two that I have.
so far,
I'm not clicking on it.
Wait,
That's the only two jokes I have.
Aside from that word processor, yeah.
well, I found out. I just realized today when I was out why I don't hang out with a yoga crowd anymore. Each and every one of them are all just a bunch of posers.
And here I was thinking you were doing for a Lou Reed album there yourself. With a, I've seen that album before. It's worth about $500. Ah,
oh, Joe Dog.
Yeah.
While I'm thinking of it, You said you're doing a special show this coming Wednesday, correct?
The 12th.
Oh, it's the 12th. It's next Wednesday. Okay.
Wednesday.
It's
Yeah.
the Wednesday after.
A week and a half.
I
Okay.
have yet to flip my calendar page over.
Yeah, we're going to start about 7:30, 8 o'clock.
Okay.
Just don't know when. And it's our anniversary show. 3 years of Stupid O'Clock.
What a thing to celebrate.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have a lot more bad jokes ready for you.
Oh no.
Sounds like my stream might run a little bit over.
Y'all didn't like my obscene clone fall?
I'm sure somebody did.
It's almost as bad as my Mick Jagger joke.
All right, let's hear it.
You sure?
Yeah.
All right. Mick Jagger retires from the Rolling Stones, and he winds up buying an estate up in Scotland. A real nice house, manor house on farmland, barns, and all sorts of stuff. Nice community, just really, very old kind of community. And he gets out there, all the neighbors, just, oh, it's Mick Jagger. We got to go meet the new neighbor, Mick Jagger. Turns out this community is all about sheep. And not just sheep. It's like the Westminster Dog Show of people raising sheep. And they raise, the type of sheep that the wool coming off the sheep is like $5,000 a fleece and makes the finest, whatever that's made out of wool. Turns out so he buys the estate. Turns out he's got several very nice sheep that came with the estate. That was part of the thing. He has to take care of the sheep. He says, hey, that sounds cool. Raise sheep. So he gets out there and all the neighbors. Listen, this old Scottish fella, this real ugly, mean looking, walking by his house, walks onto his property, doesn't say hi, doesn't shake his hand or nothing, just walks in, looks around, looks over his sheep barn, turns around, walks off. After he walks off, all the neighbors go, that's Mr. McLeod. Says, we don't let him near our sheep barns because let's just say he abuses the animals. And we have caught him several nights in our barns and area, just abusing the sheep. It says, just keep an eye out for him. If you hear something going on in the barn, go out there, flashlight, run him off. And call the cops in the morning. He's like, okay, this might turn out to be a weird neighborhood after all. Sure enough, late that night, he's up there in bed. Here's all the sheep making a ruckus down there. He jumps up, throws on his bathrobe, grabs a flashlight, goes down there, flips on a sheep, or flips on his flashlight. Sure enough, butt naked, wearing nothing but a bonnet, is this McLeod guy just going at one of his sheep. He yells, "Hey, McLeod, get off of my ewe!"
I blame you, Joe Dog.
That's
You
right,
started
folks. They just turned it into a competition. We're
Not quite
very
as good as my
sorry.
liberal
These are war crimes. I'm certain that will be classed. There's got to be a Geneva Convention thing against this, but
Ooh,
Whoa.
that's someone else to ban.
whoa,
What?
oh,
We got another one.
it's a deserter from the Russian army, the Russian bot army.
How do we keep getting these idiots?
Okay. I just threw a ban. Oh, Carl got him. That's why I can't block him. But it didn't erase it from our side.
We got
No, it didn't.
Sorry, say cheese. Guess what? Nobody else can see it.
Yeah. Silent
Adolf
Idiot.
Cooper.
Well,
now.
got the next one.
Okay. Silent Idiot, the best kind.
I got that one.
Okay.
All right, it's on.
Oh yeah.
Oh, looks like Say Cheese's block is only 5 minutes.
That's all we can.
Oh, that's just the block. The band is in place.
Adolf Cooper.
Yeah, Say Cheese was only see, when Carl blocks, it's only for 5 minutes. When I block it, it's for life.
Ever.
Yep, and Adolf better look out because Alice has got good
Oh, another
warriors.
Here we go again.
And the band hammer has dropped. Rackaboom.
He comes right back crying back to us.
It doesn't matter.
Come on, Adolf, try it again.
We used to get these all the time back on IRC chat, and they'd have these IP randomizers where you'd have to block an entire
He's back.
service,
And we
not
did.
just an IP, but everything. Yep. And the different spellings, hey.
This dude does not have a life, does he?
It's
No.
not a living person, it's just a bot.
No, I got a feeling this is a person because we're challenging them to come back. Do it again. Do it again, bud. Bet you I can have it blocked before anybody can see it. Trust me, I'm ready for it.
No, we have fun. We have a lot of fun on this show.
Yeah, that's because we got Monier, the band hammer. Yeah, Rich, that was kind of blasphemy, but
Yeah, it's a sad living person designing that bot.
Okay. Went to the store today, and I think pull up to the store, going to Ingles, the grocery store. Pull up to the store. The traffic light's not working. So it's Georgia. Everybody's you go. It's Chippendale kind of thing. Oh no, after you, indubitably after you, and yeah, right.
Alphonse and Gaston was the original. Yeah.
Anyway, get into Ingles. I pull up and I grab a cart. I'm going into the store and I look, no lights.
No
And
cash registers, no card readers.
And the automatic doors are wide open. They're not running. So I get in, and it turns out their cash registers have battery backup.
Oh, good.
So does their credit card machine. Their whole pay for stuff set up, battery backup. Cool. So I went ahead and did my shopping. Everything was still cold. So, and I posted on Facebook. There's a video. I put a video in there of me in the back of the store with like nothing but emergency lights. It's kind of neat, actually.
No PA system with
No
bad music blaring.
No, no refrigerator noises. That was really weird because normally, you get in the store and there's all the freezers and refrigerators and meat section and all that, making noise. Nothing.
I can never hear that over the PA system constantly broadcasting elevator music.
Well, they've got the rotisseries and stuff back in the deli for the chickens and all the other stuff. And normally those make a lot of noise, the air and, and the grill screen over the oven and stuff like that. And just, it was so surrealistic to be in there in the dark with all these people.
Carl.
Good night, Carl.
Good night, Carl.
Not Carl.
Carl, one more. My blind friend was telling me about this horror book that he was reading. He said something bad's going to happen in this book. I can feel it.
And the bad news is it's not just April Fool's Day, folks. It's 24/7.
Yeah, he's like this all the time.
All right, I'm going to tell my favorite black joke.
Oh no.
How do most black jokes start?
Joe Dog knows when he's been topped. Oh.
Last night, Donna asked me, "Is it me or is the cat's getting fat?" I said, "It's you." Wrong answer.
Oh, Lord. Someone stole my granny's back porch in Chicago. Is it just me, or does that entire sentence not make any sense whatsoever?
No, it's a joke.
No, it's not. Good night.
Well, you could sign up for anything you wanted. It's not the right place for the radio, but
where do we get these pathetic clowns anyway?
I don't know, but
Facebook.
Hey, I'm glad they're on YouTube because it's engagement.
Monetization. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we blew all hopes of that already.
Hey, anybody
Not
that
really.
anybody that I block, please dislike this video.
It might be the fact that my beard's the way it is. Billy goats tend to attract trolls.
Hey, you know what a loser's favorite part of the body is? Defeat.
Happy April Fools to you, Daddy. Good night.
Now Joe got to behave. Ah, somebody send that man a link.
Let's see if I can find his.
And y'all thought I was a nice guy.
Huey, is that a block or is that a?
I have no idea.
Oh,
Adolf's back.
Here we go again.
Adolf, really? Is that the best you can do?
Somebody with a name like Adolf doesn't know what best.
Okay. I'm sorry, Judge Lance Ito. That is inappropriate, and that does.
We've got do we attract like a? Is there like a gay group of people following us around, pretending to be white supremacists?
It's probably 4chan getting bored again. It's probably that. 4chan.org.
Oh.
Don't they
Somebody
have
must
brighter
have
people to
posted
the
our.
cesspool of the internet.
Somebody must have posted our stream onto B again. Ho hum.
Well, be sure to dislike. Like I said, if I block you in this video, be sure to not just leave, dislike the channel.
Oh, just a simple name change is not going to undo the bans.
Oh.
Yeah, it was so much simpler back on IRC. You just ban the entire
country they're from.
Well, you could do that. Usually, you'd start out smaller with their service provider and ban everybody that uses that service provider. Of course, you might lose some of the people from the chat itself, but
oh, they posted that after I blocked them.
But like I said, ISP randomizer. So, you just have to keep blocking them over and over again. Like we've got anything better to do.
It's fun. Hey, we've actually got 16. This is the most we've ever had in the show.
I thought we had...
goes, is this an AARP meeting? Yes, it is. And get the hell off our lawn.
3 weeks from today, I'm actually old enough to become a member.
I get something in the mail from them at least twice a week. And you want to know the funny part of it? Donna started getting them before I did.
Wait a minute. That ain't right.
What?
Donna is not older than you are.
Exactly, which is why I laughed my ass off at it. That wasn't a good idea either.
Joe Dog, if there's one thing that I have learned about you over the years, you are full of bad ideas. They look good at the time, but not always panning out the way that you thought they would.
Peter Gazer is asking if he could join. Peter, you have to participate in 5 shows before we allow you to join in and not get in trouble. Oh, okay, Tim.
Thank you, Tim. It's really no problem.
It's no problem. We love it. Just as long as they click dislike when I ban them.
or immediately beforehand is preferable.
Yeah. Dan, you're real glitchy tonight. I mean, it's almost like 3 years ago. He just caught up. Woo! Did y'all see that?
On my screen, it ain't caught up yet.
When you freeze, you move around and all that, and then all of a sudden it catches up, and it's
it's the Barry Allen syndrome, right? Not your cat, the other one.
Dan is the wizard of speed and time.
Bandwidth. What did Peter Gazer do to get blocked for 5 minutes?
Don't remember. No, he asked if it was an AARP meeting.
Yeah, no, we didn't block Peter. I didn't block Peter.
I blocked him.
Oh, okay.
He was being nice. And then somebody blocked Tim Borer.
Yeah,
He was apologizing for all these idiots.
He was apologizing. I mean, seriously, we would have kept him around until he invited more idiots. Quite frankly, we have enough of them already. 3 more and we get it.
What?
I resemble that remark.
Yeah, that's why I said, when he said, does this resemble an AARP meeting? I said, yeah, get the hell off our lawns.
Just like earlier when John said, long-haired freaks need not apply. And I'm like, hey.
We already got too many of them. Our quota's full.
Quotas. That's evil.
Hey, Don.
Should I pop out and come back in and see whether or not I get a better connection?
So I'm a diversity hire?
Well, at least they're not hitting my channel or my Twitch.
Yet.
I'm not as famous as you guys.
Oh.
Yeah, neither am I.
Has anybody seen that documentary about beavers?
I'm almost afraid to even.
I hear Winona's got one.
What's the damn pun on this one?
It's the best damn show I've seen.
And these are spontaneous people. Now you see what we have to put up with at a convention.
At the convention.
So how often in that show is the beaver filled with wood? I had to go there. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you did.
It was worth it.
I'm going to hell for that.
Rich,
Yeah,
all I'm gonna do is tell
You're
you
on
is
the you're on the slow boat with the rest of us.
you're planning on at this point planning on coming to Halicon, right?
I am going to do my damnedest to make sure I get there. Yes.
Okay. I'll tell you now, if you see me smiling,
He farted.
just sort of be alert. If I'm giggling, worry. I have actually I walked past a con director when and walked away and been grabbed by the shoulder, spun around, looked dead in their face and go, "What did you do?"
With probable cause.
Joe's very existence is probable cause.
Yeah. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Dadgummit.
What?
I'm looking for something.
Oh.
Oh, it's in this. Yes. Okay. Damn. I got to delete. Oh, sorry about that. Here we go. I posted this on Facebook and got 2 copyright strikes in about 30 minutes. About 30 seconds.
I think I've been running up against that sign my entire life before Facebook existed.
Mhm.
And I'm still going.
Oh, all right. I'm out of jokes.
I call bullshit on that.
I'm
When
waiting
did
for
you
the
ever-
punchline.
When did you ever have any jokes?
Now you know that we are Joe Dog's friends because he would not allow anybody else to get away with this.
Oh, yeah.
Well, see, at least Rich, John, at least Rich was nice about it. He asked when Joe Dog was going to have a good joke. He at least recognized that there were jokes coming out. You just
really-
put out said jokes.
If I really wanted to be mean,
What happened?
what? What do you mean?
What?
Something. My Microsoft Office is gone.
Huh.
Somebody stole it. I'll find you. You've got my word on that.
Oh, God, I knew that was coming. Son of a.
Okay, Joe.
You know he excels at these jokes.
I have to.
The outlook's not good.
I have to pull out the really evil insults now, Joe. You brought this on yourself. You are the United Launch Alliance of bad jokes.
Thank you.
Can't ever get one off the ground.
No.
Oh, I get them off the ground. Sometimes they just don't clear the tower.
He's the Russian alliance of these jokes.
No, Russian rockets.
He sends them up, they blow up every damn time.
Joe, don't make me pull out my
Now.
evil IT
Russia
side.
Russia hasn't blown up a rocket in weeks.
Hours?
You know, the busiest guy at their rocket site is the guy that's in charge of the sign that says there have been this many days since the last accident. Every 24 hours, he runs out to that sign and goes, "Oh shit!"
Well, you've seen that sign on the fence says we've had 0 work accidents since Joe left.
Joe left.
Mhm.
So my doctor gave me a new prescription yesterday. Apparently, it'll make me invulnerable for 4 hours at a time. What do you mean? That's not what that meant. Sorry. Viagra joke.
I heard 2 idiots were sitting on a ledge. A gust of wind suddenly blew the large idiot off. But why didn't the little idiot get blown off too? Because he was a little moron.
That's as bad as my Weeble joke.
All right, I'm pulling this one out of the archive. See if anyone remembers it. Where do pirates get their hooks?
Secondhand store.
The secondhand store.
Arr.
God damn it! Now I got it. Wonder if those transferred.
Well, you trying to get out of this chicken shit outfit? Oh.
Well, that's not the album I'm looking for. Nope, that ain't it either. They did not transfer. Son of a buck.
So, real life that happened, and I still want to strangle my best friend for. We were 16, 17, somewhere in that range. And we were going extremely fast, as young men do in very large, very old cars. So we're doing like 70 over roads that go like this, catching air in a 1975 Impala.
Ooh.
We catch air as a county cop is coming up the other side. Cherry's on. We immediately pull over, and he's sitting there, and he walks up, and my best friend, without missing a beat, goes into full Star Wars mode. These are not the droids you're looking for. Thankfully, the cop wasn't much older than we were, laughed his ass off, gave us a verbal warning, and told us to slow it down. But, yeah. So when Joe mentioned, it wasn't the album he was looking for, it just brought that, speeding, no pun intended, back to mind.
Oh dear.
Anybody here ever see the videos, Troops, that they did? It was a takeoff
a takeoff on cops, yeah.
but it was with stormtroopers.
Uh-huh.
Baru was drunk. Oh, yes. I loved that.
There were so many of those things, and they're not that, action figure therapy. Remember that with little G.I. Joe figures and, what was it, Bush Ranger or whatever his name was, the Australian guy.
Yeah, they call that robot chicken now.
Is that, okay, that is, yeah. But, but that was, I used to love. And all those great cartoons. Late 90s, early 2000s, especially MTV's Liquid Television. You had Aeon Flux.
Yeah.
I loved Liquid Television's
Psychogram.
website that you could just send all the weird internet jokes and pranks on and stuff like that. Oh, God.
There was a, let's see, I think it was called Phantom 2040 that was done in the same art style as Aeon Flux. I mean, seriously, exact same art style. And It was very good, but it didn't last very long. I do believe the story, the first season story did get wrapped up, but evidently it's available on YouTube, or it says it is, but it's like 26 repeats of the first episode or something. And I'm going, this is an April Fool's Day joke right here.
Have you heard they're redoing Space Ghost?
Again?
A live action Space Ghost.
I have read the comics that they did as an explanation for the backstory for the character from the 60s cartoon. That was pretty good.
But it's going to be him in the armor and the Phantom Cruiser. And
It's supposed to be more gritty. It's
going to be a lot darker, like the Batman series.
Yeah. Why does everything have to be gritty? It's like did
because
anybody
art
ever
imitates life.
Did anybody ever enjoy dropping a gummy bear in the back floorboards? I mean, you get a gritty bear.
All right, Joe Jr.
Hey, that was a joke I made up back in the day.
Before gummy bears. He had to invent the gummy bears first.
No, it was after gummy bears, but it was definitely that there was a 62 Impala involved in a road trip from Georgia to up above Knoxville.
If they redo Space Ghost, I wonder if they'll redo any of those other cartoons.
Like Herculoids. I'd love to see a live action Herculoids.
Thundar the Barbarian.
Yes.
That one I wouldn't want to see desecrated.
I would love to see it live action just for one thing. The pop culture references.
Yeah. One thing that would be great about that is you wouldn't have to make it that one gritty.
That's from somebody's Twitch.
Yeah, that'd be yours.
That's a promotional something or other.
Yeah, it's not on my Twitch. I just looked.
For those of you at home don't know what we're talking about, we've got this chat for comments over here on the side of the screen. People that are in the room can see it. Okay, that's where we see all your comments and stuff. I don't know if they can see it or not.
Oh, they can if they're on YouTube.
So,
but they can't see ours here on StreamYard, right?
Right. The only way they see comments from other channels is when someone with admin capability actually clicks on it and shows it on the bottom of the screen.
Yep. You gonna delete that one there, Joe Dog, or?
I'm working on it.
Oh, Tate.
It's already banned, so I don't know if we'll.
What button did you hit, Joe Dog?
I didn't. That's not me.
It's got to be you. You're the only one touching buttons.
I don't know, but that could get us banned. That wasn't me. That was Kerry.
Not from me.
I think all three of them are in on it.
Rich, you got some explaining to do.
I'm behaving.
Well,
a couple minutes ago I wasn't, but now I'm behaving.
Yeah.
Shit. I don't. Tells you how much I use Twitch. There. Okay. All right. Okay. All right, I'm totally lost here.
What?
I just realized I don't know how to use Twitch. I couldn't find the chat.
Send them a bill for $50 and call it a night.
Oh.
I don't think anybody in the Twitch is gonna see that message. He's all banned. That always deletes the messages too when you ban somebody.
Okay, you must have banned them because I didn't.
Yeah, I banned them.
All right, thanks.
Never a dull moment, folks.
That's that is really annoying that people think that they have a right to advertise on your StreamYard or whatever just because you're broadcasting to Twitch or YouTube or whatever.
Well, it's not as bad as the ones that come in and say, "Hey, can I join the conversation? Hey, give me ops. Hey. Now you're all banned."
Op me because I'm lame. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's an old IRC one.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Oh, that makes me want to fire up the other computer and just jump on MIRC.
Hey, I was just on MIRC today. 30th of this month is Larry Niven's birthday.
Zach.
Yeah, Zach, I think we can make an exception on your account.
Send him a link, John.
All right, I'm working on it.
Oh, Lord.
Why? Oh, good links. Last time I did the links, we started to get all them Russian spam bots. Okay.
Well, if you wouldn't send it through the Moscow Express.
Yeah, John is Zelda of this channel.
When you send out the link, you weren't supposed to post it on that Reddit forum.
And delivered by Lancelot Link, the secret chimp.
Send it to your Facebook.
Constellation web group still running?
Do we have to send Dawn a link, or does she?
No, Dawn's on the list.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, she just doesn't like it enough.
Dawn waits until 5 minutes before the show ends.
She has standards. Up. Yeah. I'll wait until they get all the jokes out of their system, then I'll show up.
Should be sometime in 2055.
Well, actually, about 9 o'clock in the morning will be 9 years from when I hurt my back. I've, not worked a full day since then.
And not many before.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, you were a government employee, right?
Yeah.
For how long?
30 years.
Yeah, so there was 30 years before that you hadn't worked a full day either.
Yeah.
No, they gave him a shovel so he could have something to lean on.
I can say that as a former government employee, too.
Yeah. No, when I got to work, I would hide.
He was the guy that had to make sure that orange barrel didn't blow over every time the cars went by, so he just sit there and lean on it.
Yeah, I always hide at work, too, because a good employee is hard to find.
Yeah, exactly.
I just had to complete that one for you.
That's all right.
I hadn't.
That's all right. It was precious. We're going to savor that one.
I used to like those mechanics in the military that'd get on the creeper and they'd get up underneath the trucks and stuff like that, take a nap. They'd take the button cuffs on their coveralls and hook them up on some nuts and bolts up inside the engine area.
Somebody try and tow them out and it would wake them up.
Hey.
You got to make me hit myself with this wrench.
Sorry, I thought you were asleep. No.
There's Zach.
You haven't moved in 3 days.
See, Zach, you missed the best part of the show. We were.
Oh, I've been listening.
I'm sorry.
I was sent to lead a conversation. No.
I think my favorite one, this guy, he would show up in the motor pool every day, and he had these, he had a little stack of wooden slats like you'd get out of a pallet. He'd come in, and I didn't think to ask him, why are you carrying all those wooden slats? I figured it was, something he was doing for work. He'd come in, he'd disappear. About time it was time to get done working and close the motor pool, he'd show up again with those 4 wooden slats. I finally caught him one day what he was doing. He had a 1.5 deuce down there in the motor pool. He would go up underneath, crawl up underneath the suspension in the back because it's got 4 dually wheels in the back. And then it sits up off that ground pretty good. And it's got these 2 big I-beams run down either side underneath the bed. And there's about this much space underneath the bed to the
above
bottom,
the I-beam,
lower I-beam. And there's a couple of steel runners in there between those 2 I-beams, like springs sort of thing. And he would get up in there, put those 4 slats up there, crawl in on top of them, set his alarm watch, and go to sleep.
Yeah, bad thing about sleeping at work is I snore.
Mm-hmm.
It's a motor pool. Nobody can hear that.
All right, who's working on the motorcycle?
Tanks, trucks.
When did that Humvee start sounding like that? Didn't sound like that when I pulled it in yesterday.
That 1.5 deuce turbo sounded awful rough.
Somebody needs to adjust that carburetor.
We had this one guy. He was one of the tandem truck drivers. Joe, truck drivers, when you have to park them and wait for a while, they will fall asleep on your ass.
Oh, yeah.
He had his window down. Supervisor climbed up on the running board, and it was enough to wake him up. And once he got up there, he said, "And God bless Lonnie. God bless." And then, he turned and looked at him. Hey, I was just praying.
I'm just praying you wouldn't catch my ass asleep.
But yeah, he actually got away with it.
Well, yeah.
I'm Catholic, so whenever they would wake me up, I'd go.
What? I got in so much trouble one time for that. We were all in my barracks room because we had chairs and couches and everybody sitting around. We were watching TV. I was sitting over there in my comfy chair, about like I am now, reading a book. Haven't down my library. Nodded off. Well, my back was to everyone. So it's time for formation. So they turn off the TV, everybody leaves. Nobody bothered. I mean, my squad leader and half my squad are right there. Nobody bothered to tap me on the shoulder and said, "Come on," or anything like that. They got mad at me because I missed the formation. and we didn't know you were asleep. We thought you were awake. I'm like, okay. So everybody's got a lousy excuse today. Thanks for waking me up.
Used to work with a guy, and he would fall asleep every day. So in a call center, kind of a big thing when he's the one not taking any calls and, servers go down. So I went out and bought a bunch of Nerf gun type stuff, but bigger, so that when he was asleep, we would just start shooting him with it. I bought enough for everyone in the office. This is how vengeful I was. But so yeah, and then if he was still doing it, then we got to, like almost like handball type balls to just start chucking at his head. The operations manager comes out one day and he wants to talk to him. So he walks up, he looks at him, he looks at me. I'm like, I've been trying to wake him up. He's like, stop. When he finally does wake up, send him in my office. So yeah, so he came out after he finally woke up 4 hours later. And he still had a job. Barely. You know, he blinks too long and he was no longer with the company. So that was fun. We're like, dude, we've been trying to wake you up for half an hour, and then he came out.
And then you slept for 4 more.
Yes.
No, we had a lady about my age at work that just about every other time you looked at her, she was asleep. Now, she had a job to where she had computer, desk, chair, occasionally had to go out on the floor and adjust a machine or holler for a maintenance man or something like that. And she was just on the verge of getting written up. She went to a doctor. She came back with an official diagnosis. She's a narcoleptic. They couldn't write her up. It was a handicap.
Mm-hmm.
So they let her go ahead and stay for 2-3 more years until she retired. It's just every once in a while, one of the coworkers would go over there and go, Barbara, we need a maintenance man. Get on the phone. Oh, okay, thank you. I'm sorry I had to disturb you. And it's just one of those things. But she did have a legitimate medical excuse. It's not something that she paid some back alley doctor to write up a piece of paper. No, it was serious. She was narcoleptic. And it turns out they made her give up her driver's license after she retired because the doctor was afraid she'd nod off in traffic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when Misty was having some seizures, the doctor wrote something that basically suspended her license for a couple of years until she was so long seizure free before they reinstate her license so that she didn't have an issue while driving and kill someone else.
Yeah, sometimes you've got to do that.
Back when I first started working at Staples, when you'd walk into the store, all the paper and everything was on the right side of the wall, their right-hand wall, right next to our copy center. And there was a guy that would always volunteer to help stock the cases of paper. And we could never figure out why it took him so long. And our store was busy enough that you didn't really have time to try and track somebody down. He'd go through, start stocking.
Make a fort and sleep?
Yep. Make himself a nice little bed on cases of paper. Then take an hour nap.
We had a stocker, Stocker, as in one who puts things on shelves.
Mm-hmm.
When I was doing the same position overnight, that their aisle was the toilet tissue aisle. And we'd always lose them for, several hours during the night, So one night, we're pissed off. We're doing their aisle, and we accidentally knock over the first 3 rows of deep of toilet paper on the bottom rack where he was sleeping. And then those idiots that make the the forts in Walmart, and have escape missions to see how long they can stay and undetected and stuff like that. Those are some weird YouTube channels.
Yeah, that was a whole trend.
I wonder how many of those Walmart employees were paid off to let them do it.
I wonder how many people have now been permanently trespassed from some of these companies.
Yeah.
They're going to not be happy when they've been trespassed from Walmart, Costco, and IKEA when they grow up.
If some of these folks, it's not a when, it's an if.
True.
I mean, hell, my father was 79 going on 10.
There's still fun videos to watch.
Oh, yes.
There's some elaborate ones. I like the 3-story house one. It was good.
I remember a story, but I don't remember how I heard it or from whom. But it was that basically there was somebody, I do believe it's a coworker presently, but they were talking about a place that they used to work, and they had a supervisor that would disappear constantly. And it was a paper products factory, warehouse, something like that. Supervisor would disappear. Apparently, he was in the habit of climbing in these big shipping boxes that had been partially emptied of paper products and take a nap for half a day or better.
That could get dangerous.
Well, turns out some of the, shall we say, practical jokers on the crew found out that that's what he was doing. And one of them got a forklift.
And shipped him across the country.
No, they put him up on the highest tier on these enormous storage racks in the warehouse. And then backed the forklift out and went about their regular day. Some hours later, when the supervisor woke up, he's standing up in this box, 3 stories in the air, hollering for somebody to get him down and not tell anybody.
For man.
One giant splat for all mankind.
When I was still at the plastics factory, we had a supervisor who would sleep in his office. And the thing is, the office was a fishbowl. Windows on 3 sides so you could actually see what's going on in there. Mm-hmm. So one day, me and a couple of the other processors decided to take one of the big things of shrink wrap that we would wrap the boxes in the warehouse, and we wrapped low around the entire office. Because, I mean, it was only
you couldn't see it from
10 by 10. And we did it under the windows. So he's sitting there. Will somebody let me out of this office?
Why? You want to sleep someplace else for a change?
Well, where I used to work, you really didn't piss people off, especially if you drove a rear-wheel drive vehicle. Because, I mean, zip ties were free.
I know how this is going to go.
Crawl under there. 300 zip ties all along the bottom. And the further down the drive shaft you got, the longer the zip ties got. But you put them in staggered positions. You could hear them leaving the parking lot.
If you do it right, it sounds like a playing card and a bicycle spoke.
Yep. Or better yet, zip tie a little string, tie a loop in a string, zip tie it, and a washer.
Mm-hmm.
That don't go off till you get up to speed.
Yep.
Sounds like a whole rear end's coming out of the car. Yeah, I'm an asshole.
Now, part of one of my jobs back in the day at the factory, they would when my machine wasn't running, they would have me go off and sweep the floor someplace in the factory, or when the line was down, same thing. I could not tell you. I couldn't even begin to tell you how many hidey holes I found that the supervisors thought were a good place to go take a nap. I must have caught every supervisor that had ever worked there for 40 years asleep in some little out of the way spot. Some of them with glass walls, thinking they're totally safe. Well, they are totally safe because, their supervisor, their word counts for more than yours, so you can't report them for anything. One of their supervisors would have to catch them, and that ain't likely. But the temptation was there occasionally when one of them was habitually a jerk to just go in the empty production office and type in what you knew was the passkey to unlock the computer and send a random email with a photograph attached to the plant manager, who was everybody's supervisor, from the offending supervisor's own account. I never did that. I did have the ability to do that.
So, back when I started supporting the firm, I was working for a outsourced company where we just took over high traffic times, any overflow that their desk couldn't handle, flew it out to us, and then any after hours calls. So for a good portion of that, I was on second and third shift. So I'm coming in for my second shift, and one of the other technicians that's on one of the other desks goes to lunch. That other desk supported a publisher that every second they were down, they were losing tens of thousands of dollars. So, friend goes to lunch, forgets to lock his computer. His manager, who is a practical joker, decides to go in and change this home file, this home IP address, so that every site he tries to hit that's an external site is supposed to pass through here, but instead goes to a gay porn site. Manager forgets all about it. Friend gets back. Friend doesn't have to hit any external websites until well after the manager left for the day. Suddenly he gets a call that something's down. He tries to log in. And again, every second these presses are down, they're losing tens of thousands of dollars. So he tries to go out, and all of a sudden, gay porn. And he's freaking out. Tries a different site and just everything. He has to jump on a different computer, boot it up, and the computers we had were so freaking slow, it's not even funny. So he finally got it fixed. He called the manager. The manager's like, "Oh yeah, I did that, didn't I?"
What? Oh,
Wake up, Carrie!
Kerry, you're infringing on my copyright. Don't nod off.
Really? That's stealing Dan's stick, man.
I wish Dan would wake up that quick.
It
I
was just
do
that
when-
enlightening of a story.
I do when a pretty girl is talking to me.
What'd you say, Zach?
It was just that energizing and enlightening of a story.
Since Zach's here, let's talk about sprockets for a minute.
Oh, God.
Sprockets? What,
Sprockets.
Space
I don't know anything
Space
about
Spacely
sprocket.
coming out with a new sprocket?
This part on sprockets where we dance.
Hmm.
Nah. Anyway, super heavy starship. When are they? Do they have a launch date? And is it in like?
I have lost so many years of my life to this rocket. Would they just launch it already? I have booked and canceled planes 8 times in the last 30 days.
I get the feeling he doesn't care whether it runs or not.
Just
As long as it gets a foot off the ground, he's going to be
doesn't even have
satisfied.
to blow up on the pad.
If it just blow up, you know they say 3, 2,
Just
1,
tell
boom,
me
and
48
we're
hours
happy.
before so I can be there.
Oh, dear.
Do they have a date?
It's
Is it
weird.
in 2023?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So late last night we got marine notices, which is a big deal.
Oh,
to
the Marines
get.
are involved. There go all the crayons.
Yeah. So there's now this huge strip of the Gulf of Mexico that you can't go into, and this huge strip of the Pacific Ocean you can't go into. That are for launch windows. So they're like 4 or 5 hour windows starting April 6th to the 12th. Now, everyone went crazy about that last night and through today. And then Elon, being Elon, responded to one person who was like, hey, we're days away from launch. He's like, well, it's not days. Hopefully it's not more than many weeks. So that points to his tweet a week ago saying the 3rd week of April, which of course perfectly lines up with 420, which is his 69 days before his birthday, and all these other magical things that work in the Elon verse. And so most likely 420. There's other stuff pointing towards 410, the 10th.
420 would be appropriate for Elon.
Well, it was
Let's fire
supposed to
this bugger up.
Well, it was supposed to be Booster 4 Ship 20 last year, and now it's not. Now it's Booster 7, like 24. So we'll take the date instead of the booster. But now NASA's planes are on hold for the 10th and 11th for an unnamed mission. Nothing else is launching. So those are for Starship, but those are on the 10th and the 11th. We're expecting those to slide, and no one knows what's happening.
Now, does the Navy have anything to do with this, or is it all?
I don't think it should be all in turn. There might be stuff with Hawaii because they're actually doing SpaceX buoys. So they're going to put buoys out in the ocean to try to get more data, I guess, from it crashing through the atmosphere and into the ocean controllably. So yeah, we don't know.
What was that island out there near Hawaii that had the tracking station on it? Did they have one in Hawaii?
Probably not.
I used to know this stuff back in the day.
I'm sure there's a couple tracking stations out there.
I know there was one near the Marshall Islands. It's but it is now part of the Ronald Reagan ballistic missile testing site or something like that.
If you pull that up, that's the massive lines through the ocean that are not flyable. So no ships are allowed anywhere in those zones for like 5 hours a day, probably for every day starting on the 6th until the thing actually flies.
Yeah, I can just see it. Oh no, we got to scrub the launch. There's a seagull.
Carnival,
500
Carnival,
miles downrange.
Carnival Cruise Lines.
If this thing gets scrubbed by The flight path, though, if you happen to live in the British Virgin Islands, it's going right over top of you. So about T plus 12 minutes, prime viewing.
It looks like it ain't going to be too far from Havana either.
I'll see if I can find it. There's someone has actually gone. And
Is it supposed to thread the needle of Florida and Cuba?
Yes.
Within inches. It is extremely...
If you were standing in Key West, you could watch it go over, maybe.
Yeah, so this was on Twitter earlier today for its orbital trajectory of where it's going to fly.
Excuse me.
So you can see down here, it just perfectly skims between the two.
So it's not even going to make one orbit.
No.
That's kind of...
It reaches orbital velocity if it farts for like half a second. So they're not going to do that, and then they're just going to bring it back.
Are they even going to fire the engines on the Starship?
Yes.
Because Super Heavy pretty much can get it to orbit, right?
I don't think we fully know. We know there's a SECO burn, so there will be a second stage burn. Yes, we do know this. The booster, if I could bring this back here, the booster shuts off somewhere around here.
Okay.
Because
the red is the booster return?
The red is if the booster goes boom, it crashes there.
No, it's where the red ends. Is that the booster return?
I believe, yeah. I think this smaller one is like the booster coming back.
So it's right on top of Key West.
Oh, they're going to try to come back? Are they planning on
they're going to
coming
try to land.
They're going to try to catch it.
With the chopsticks.
Yeah. Now, they might change their mind if they don't like how things are looking and just throw it in the ocean. But either way, they're either bringing it, I think they said 5 or 7 miles off the coast, or they're bringing it back to the tower.
It doesn't have landing gear either, does it?
No.
Nothing will. No ships or boosters will have landing gear for them.
So
the ships will get caught.
They have to catch it with the chopsticks or dump it in the ocean.
Yeah.
Or
and then Starship will crash over Hawaii.
Why do I get the feeling that thing is actually going to go join the sports car on its way to Mars rather than crash into the ocean?
It's going to put one of their new cyber trucks up in space this time.
Yeah. Well, the red streak is half the width of the Pacific Ocean for re-entry because no one believes this thing's actually going to re-enter properly. So we'll see.
This is one that it's let's go. And Han Solo, I got a bad feeling about this.
No, this is the one where Princess Leia looks at him and goes, I don't know, I got a bad feeling about this.
Rich, if I may ask, what in the hell are you doing? Okay.
Hey, I knew that sound.
That's his Pez dispenser.
Hey, I know that sound, damn it. I got one more day.
Yeah.
1 week of
I got one more day too.
Sound like a bunch of Tic Tac fanatics.
Was lemon, cherry.
This is the only row that has 2. Everything else has more than 2.
It's lemon, cherry, mint, and then like spearmint or something.
Blueberry.
Oh, I don't know if you can see it.
I didn't realize my gain was that good tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I got a mess pot full.
Now I'm worried. I recognize about half of those.
6 of these a day.
Oof.
Every 4 hours. Yeah, 6 every 4 hours. 1 every 4 hours.
That's the same way I have a prescription for these.
Yeah. All right, I gotta go down the hall.
And that one is just to mitigate some of the nerve pain.
Oh.
It's his freaking show. I mean, seriously. He's the one that got us hooked on this.
See, this is when we just all leave and he comes back and it's just him on screen.
Like
I
that's
said we
going to
saw-
bother him?
We leave the cameras and microphones on and just go take a break, all of us at the same time. And come back, it's nothing but empty chairs.
That actually sounds like a good idea.
See y'all at the Waffle House in 15 minutes.
It is April Fool's Day.
Okay, but doesn't that end at noon?
No. It ends about September.
Technically, it's already ended for half of us.
I still got 26 minutes.
Yeah, he's still
Same here.
Yeah, but it's Joe Dog. Nothing going to stop Joe Dog. Except Donna. And not Donna Carlene, but Joe Dog's wife, Donna. And it's about the only brakes he's got. And she can stomp those brakes and nothing flat.
Yes, she is an expert at percussive romance. Give me a little love tap, 2 or 3, 4, 5, 6.
The woman must be, she's got a lifetime subscription for cast iron frying pans.
We do live not far from the Lodge Factory outlet. Just point that out.
Come
It's just
on.
down the road.
My ma used to use frying pans on my eldest sibling. Explains
Hey.
a lot.
Here's an idea. If I buy her one of those cornbread pans where it's got the corn muffins look like ears
No,
of
that'll
corn,
leave a mark. That'll leave
that's
a
what
mark.
that's what I want. I want to see corn on the back of Joe's head.
Joe Dog with corn roast? No. That's
Corn
not
roast,
right.
yeah. Hey, they got that frying pan that's like got 6 slots in it, that's star shaped for cornbread. You know, and you get each individual piece of cornbread.
Mama's got one. Yeah.
Smack him with that and see if we can leave a star shape in the back of his head.
Oh,
I think it might do more damage to the pan.
Yeah, that tends to be the obvious result.
My mom has 2 of them for cookies. 1 snowmen, 1 Santa Clauses.
I like watching stupid people do stupid things to themselves. And I just wish it would hurt them more. Whenever I pray that stupid would hurt, I keep forgetting to tell God that not me, them. But one channel I watched, someone decided to try to brand themselves with an apple core.
Seriously?
It's not going to end well.
They heated up the apple core, and they didn't even get an even heat on it. And then he had it burned into his chest, and I'm just like, oh, dear mother of God.
Explain this. An apple core.
Yes.
Like you eat an apple, you got the center
No.
part.
Core. The metal
apple
thing.
core. Oh, okay. Yes.
Yeah.
2 syllables. Core.
The
How
metal
the hell
device.
do you light an apple core? That's
Very carefully.
no kidding.
Well, there is plenty of sugar in it, so it will burn. It will combust.
Guys, I'm glad I cut my camera off because I broke my rule tonight, and y'all really didn't need to see that.
Or know that.
What'd you just do?
Or just mention it in chat with everybody listening, and
No,
Forgot to wear pants?
I have broke the rule of doing the show with always have pants on. This time I didn't.
You got your skirt on.
And y'all really don't need to see me stand up and walk away in a thong.
We didn't even need
itsy bitsy teeny weeny. Oh.
we didn't even need that visual.
It burns. It burns.
I hope that has alcohol in it, Zach.
I wish.
There better have been shorts involved. Because that would not be something we would
Now,
want to imagine.
those of us who are habitués of the green room have seen this occurrence with another individual. And
Yep.
the remark made at that time was, you realize he does have to come back.
Oh no.
Mhm.
Well, at least he's not on a laptop and takes it with him, thinking that his camera's off so he can use the washroom, but the camera's actually on. That happened a lot in the pandemic with people.
Cell phones will do the same thing, I've been told.
But cell phones, you set it down so it looks up. The laptop you put on the bathtub right next to you, tilt it so you can see it, and you get full view.
Sometimes people reverse the camera accidentally. Yes, Dawn, some of us have been scarred for life, but we haven't left yet. I don't know what's wrong with us. I don't know. The meds haven't worn off yet.
I like the pain. I feed on the pain.
I had to mess with you guys. I've still got blue jeans on. It's just seeing
You know, I would say
The
prove
sad
it, but
thing
I
is that-
really don't want to run that risk.
Daisy Dukes are not classed as blue jeans.
damn.
And I were on the same channel as usual.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Zach.
It's okay. Why do I
You
keep
can
coming
snatch
back?
the pebble from my hand, Grasshopper.
Don't give me any more ideas about grabbing anything with chopsticks. It doesn't need any more.
We're killing poor Rich.
I don't know about chopsticks, but please don't tell me there's a magnifying glass involved there somewhere.
Leave my personal time out of the show, please.
All I'm going to say is you need to turn the binoculars around backwards.
I think Dawn's getting ready for Last Man Standing.
Well, she was until that.
That moment when you're manscaping and you realize, oh, that wasn't a hair. Oh.
Zircon encrusted tweezers. Yes, she's actually a Zappa fan.
Zach's considered getting run.
What?
Going off of what Rich just said, a buddy of mine looked at me one day and said, "You thought you had a pube until you pissed out of it."
Leave it to the guy named Dick to start the dick jokes.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Hey, well, I will tell you, sometimes in the wintertime when you got to pee outside, Joe, you'll understand this. You reach in, grab, and pull out something and pee down your leg.
You know what? It's very hard to get something 2 inches long out of 6 inches of fabric, okay?
Yeah.
And then if that gust of wind hits, that's a negative 2 inches because it's crawling backwards.
Oh, but I'm warm though.
This
Worst
show
one I
is
ever heard
never
of.
getting a sponsor.
What's this extra fabric that people talk of?
Even Manscaped won't touch this.
Worst one I ever heard of. Got called out on a roadside bomb mission. So
That'll put some shrinkage on you.
So we had to escort EOD out there. So he gets out there and he puts in him and his the guy who's going down to do the interrogation of the bomb, putting on the bomb suit, and the guy's helping him put on the bomb suit. He gets everything put on. He got the big face mask, all sorts of stuff like that. He's going down there, and they've already sent the robots down to look at it, but it's going to take somebody has to go down there and interrogate it properly. Gets all the way down there. See him stop. All of a sudden, he jumps up, comes running back. And everybody's like, oh, shit. Oh, and you see everybody ducking down behind the armor like, oh, shit, what's going on? He running back. Give me a suit. Give me a suit. What? So the guys help me get out of the suit. He gets out of the suit. Gets out of the suit. Runs over the side of the road. Pulls his drawers down and takes a dump right there on the side.
MRE chili again.
Well, I'll tell. I understand what they're doing. We had a gas leak. One of the backhoe operators hit a gas main.
What we like the city of Chattanooga? Or
yeah, city of Chattanooga.
Or Joe Dog after Taco Bell.
Just checking.
No. Joe Dog just drove a truck. He didn't operate a backhoe.
Yeah. Hit an unmarked gas main.
Oh.
Ooh,
Next to an elementary school.
yikes!
Oh man, we just, this is the holy trifecta. Unmarked gas main next to a school. Fire department shows up. Gas company shows up. Guys from the gas company are down there doing it. Guys from the fire department are like, okay. All of a sudden, all three of the guys come out of the hole from the gas company, and one of them runs for the truck. You have never seen firemen scatter and crawl under shit before in your life.
So I guess that was a bad time for somebody to say, hey, okay, smoke them if you got them.
So I am former EMS. The
Yeah.
two stories I'm about to relate. One was relayed to me by my teacher from EMS, and another was relayed by one of the other students from a call they were on while we were doing clinicals. So we'll start off with the clinical call first. She was called to a house, and the young man had gangrene. So they were trying to convince him to go to the hospital and stuff like that. And his gangrene in his leg was really, really bad. And the girlfriend relayed that 2 nights before, well, let's just say his little friend that is a variant of my first name fell off because of gangrene in the act.
Oh.
That'll leave a mark.
Nobody got their cookie that night.
I just saw Zach's eyes, and he's looking down.
Nobody got their cookie that night. Second story. So this little 80-year-old man is in the ER. My instructor was the paramedic for the ER that day, and someone asks him, what you would do to cut off a stainless steel ring, or cut through stainless steel. And he's like, get a diamond tip saw blade or something like that. And, gives off a couple of things. Turns out this little 80-year-old man was with not one, but 2 ladies of ill repute.
I imagine they had a very good reputation.
And he decided not to pay.
Oh, that's going to leave a mark.
A adult device meant to prolong male pleasure was applied to the stainless steel variety. Let's just say this 80-year-old white male had about 12 inches of a member that was very, very black at that point in time because of all the blood that could not flow back. So make sure to tip your hostess for the evening.
With
That's
more than just
like
the
a
tip,
hog
apparently.
ring.
Pardon me?
That's
Like a
almost
hog ring.
Hog ring.
Probably.
Mhm.
Well, you can tell who the city folk are, can't you, Jeff?
Yeah.
I'm not city
Nope.
folk. I'm suburban folk. I'm like
Let
stuck
that
in
be a
the middle.
lesson to you folks. Always pay the contractors.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
they do the work. They get paid. I wonder if we magically summon Nick. Talker juice. That just came out way wrong.
Yeah, it did. And you ran with it for all three.
Somehow, I don't
like,
think
in for
you
a penny, in for a
went
pound.
through. Ah.
Oh, thanks for coming, Zach.
Or however you
I
reacted.
didn't miss it.
I didn't think the joke was that good. Does he need a cigarette now?
It's so enlightening to my life. Like a foreign exchange trip.
Uh-oh.
And here we are,
Speaking
10
of the
minutes
green
from
room,
the end of the show. Dawn shows up.
You guys thought it was Nick, didn't you?
You should really pay her to appear longer.
yeah, Joe, because if you don't pay her, you might have to figure out how to get rid of a stainless steel ring.
Not. I scared you guys, though. You thought it was going to be a Nick, didn't you?
Helps after anything for the
Oh, I
next
knew
hour.
exactly who it was. I looked up, saw what time it was.
Better late than never. That's what she said.
That reminds me, I got to get my show set up.
Oh,
Oh,
and
okay, we're good to
You guys,
go.
you guys were in here talking about talker juice, so, you know.
And that summoned you?
Zach, you were talking about April 20th as LD.
Yeah.
That's the day I'm leaving for Huntsville.
Well, you can
So-
catch it on the replay.
Hell no.
He'll just drive fast.
It'll be either between 7:55 a.m. and 12:10 p.m. Central.
Oh, is that their window?
Yes, because of the marine notices. It might shift, give or take a couple minutes, but it probably shouldn't because they're not deploying anything. So it shouldn't change.
I'm not going to make a joke about Marines. No. I know too many of them.
They're not recovering anything, so they don't have any ships standing by or anything like that, right?
They don't have anything big enough that Starship could land on anyways.
Well, I thought maybe they could like tow it back. It's an empty fuel tank for the most part.
There's the most adorable standoff happening in our house right now.
Adorable standoff.
I don't think those are
It
two
is.
words that normally go together.
I would turn the
They
camera
should
on.
go together more often. They really should.
I have two dogs that are siblings, so actually that can be very and a cat. So sometimes it's a three-way adorable standoff.
Remember earlier we were talking about switching cameras around and laying them down? This is why. Wait.
And they just both looked at you like, what?
What?
I see what's
We
going
aren't
on.
doing anything.
Where they
They
hate
want
to
to
know,
know why.
mommy.
They
Hey.
want to know why all that paperwork is in their box. That's what that is.
Hey, see this on the back of the hand? That happened at about 4 o'clock in the morning.
That'll teach you to mess with Donna when she's asleep.
No. We've got two cats that can't stand the side of each other, or one cat that can't stand the side of another one. I mean, she will run down the hall to attack the cat. Well,
Wrong button.
Pull the lever, Kronk.
Okay.
Roll the lever.
I get to tell that joke because it wasn't me this time. Okay.
that time, that I came out light. Donna actually had to throw her shirt that she was wearing away from the blood stains.
What the hell did I miss when I hit the camera the wrong way?
Joe and Donna one night, 4 a.m.
There was a cat involved.
We had a cat
or at
fight.
least that's the way he said
Two
it.
cats.
Yeah, we had two cats fighting.
That explains the scratches.
We had two cats fighting on top of us while we were asleep.
Two cats fighting.
Hi, Ted.
He would have died to have been named Two Cats Fighting.
Rich says hi.
Whatever.
Hi,
He
Ted.
can't hear you. That's the funny part.
Hey, Ted.
Oh no, Joe Dog says hi.
Oh, you got earphones on?
Oh,
Everybody else is waving.
he's telling us to get off his lawn, isn't he?
Hey, he could one finger wave back. We would enjoy it.
Some days I would too. No.
So some of us it's been long enough that we might
Not
take it as an
touching
offer.
that line even in the green room.
We kept the Saturday night off. We got fingered by Ted.
And he falls down all by himself, perfectly landing.
Really rich.
Hey, Joe.
That was animal cruelty.
That one woke up my dog. They were all asleep downstairs, and whoop.
Oh.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, here's another little cat video that I love.
You know how a cat likes its steak?
Let's see if this sound will wake up my dogs. Oh wow, they must actually be asleep because usually that sound, they're in here faster than Barry can be. Someone's got food?
Somebody has food and not giving Gus any? Yeah.
We get these.
You've met Bella.
We get these big boxes of milk bone type things from Costco, and the bones are about yay big. Dog bones, but they're just big enough you can break them off into 3 pieces, and we have 3 dogs, so each one. Anytime I go near that side of the kitchen and touch a cardboard box, boom, 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 and there's all these 3 faces like treat, treat, treat.
Oh, I am absolutely evil to my dogs. I used to carry dog treats in my pocket, and sometimes when there's nothing in my pocket, I'll reach in my pocket and look at them and go, "You want something?" And I'd pull out nothing and hand one of them, and they would and I would get around to the last one, and the last one's like, "What?" And then they all look at each other like,
What'd you get?
"It just in."
And you will be the one they eat first if you ever.
Here I was thinking we were going to get out of here without attracting another idiot.
That can only be blocked by the. No, that can only be blocked by whoever is broadcasting that channel that they're on.
That would be either you or Joe.
It's not on mine.
It was on mine.
Oh, it was on Rich's?
Yep.
Oh, he went through the IT guy.
Some people are.
Okay.
He went to the IT guy. That was a mistake.
Some people going straight for the last minute fail trolls.
All I'm going to say is be sure to throw a dislike up for being blocked.
Help our algorithm. Yeah. Likes and dislikes, we get hits.
I actually was cooking chili tonight, as you may have noted from my Facebook. Anybody that actually reads that crap, and I went in there to stir the chili, and I caught my wife with a stainless steel bowl in her hand and a fork, hand feeding the dog her dog food. No, this dog is not spoiled. It just naturally smells that way. God.
All right, we got to say bye-bye, guys.
Bye,
yep.
guys.
2 minutes.
Good night, everybody.
Good night,
night.
everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Take a lot.
Oh, I have slept the surly bonds of earth and danced the skies on laughter-silvered wings. Sunward I've climbed and joined the tumbling mirth of sun-split clouds and done 100 things you have not dreamed of. Wheeled and soared and swung high in the sunlit silence. Hovering there, I've chased the shouting wind along and flung my eager craft through footless halls of air. Up, up the long, delirious, burning blue, I've topped the windswept heights with easy grace, when never lark nor even eagle flew. And while with silent, lifting mind, I've trod the high, untrespassed sanctity of space, put out my hand, and touched the face of God.
Did not